Well, this is a very beautiful day because we all know that we have enjoyed a Christmas, and this is the season where we experience love, where we experience Mary, where we dine, wine, and be happy with the loved ones. And here I am again. I'm happy to come and be with my viewers, with my followers, with my fans, with my listeners. People are out there, you're very much welcome. And this is Back to Basics. As we enjoy Christmas, we should not forget that we must get back to the basics and learn and equip ourselves with that knowledge. Very much excited. This is Back to Basics, live on Bethan TV for Health. My name is Moses, and you're very much welcome. This time we come live. Remember, even on Star Times, Go TV, free to air, and also different social media platforms, not forgetting mobile applications. You're very much welcome, and we are here again to continue share this knowledge as we experience the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. In the studio, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to present Mariam Nabukera. Mariam, you're very much welcome.
Thank you, Moses.
Yes, Mariam. Mariam is a community psychologist and lives in Entebbe, and therefore supports people not only in Entebbe but in the whole country in terms of things that affect lives. And she loves it. She's passionate about it. And we thought maybe this Christmas we should bring someone from Entebbe, right from the, not airport, right?
Of course, airports.
But anyway, Mariam again works with different NGOs and organizations to support the community where she lives in order to influence lives and contribute something to people's ways of life. Mariam.
Yes, please.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too,
and happy to have you on this day of Christmas. And I hope you're enjoying. I can see the smile.
Of course I am. Of course I'm enjoying.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, on Christmas, it is usually a good day. As for me, I don't know about others, but for me, it's a day for family.
For family.
It's a family. It's time for family. You know, most of the times we find ourselves getting engaged with other stuff. You have to go here or there. But as per me, I love spending time with my family on Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, on Christmas I'm with my mom and the rest. In our family. I love seeing my loved ones happy on Christmas.
So you are with your mom. Where do you leave your husband? That's an indirect question of saying, what is your status in terms of marriage?
My goodness, that was so much. Okay,
that is very so indirect.
Single. Yeah,
but intentional.
Single. I'm single.
You're single.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not searching.
I'm not searching.
Yeah. Why?
Why wouldn't you be searching?
Because
you're waiting to be searched.
That's one too. And for a lady,
yes.
And I think we are not hunters. We are not made to hunt.
To hunt.
We are meant to be hunted.
I love that. You maintain that traditional perspective of like a lady, you should just be there, look nice.
Yeah. You just have
take
to
care
look
of yourself
nice,
and look nice, and people will approach.
You wait for Mr. Right, not to get left right. To right.
No, not Kwetega.
No. You shouldn't.
That's very interesting.
You shouldn't.
Yes. So Mariam, we had a chat earlier, and I just know that as a community psychologist, you do a lot in the community.
Yeah.
Just before we bring in the topic of discussion this evening, what do you actually do in terms of supporting the community as a community psychologist?
In the community, I work with an organization called ALED. It is located in Entebbe, Ginger Road. You will see it, no one doesn't know it. Because it supports people, vulnerable people. And those are widows, people in the community that are armed, but they don't know where to go. You know, you have a lot of people in the community, but they don't know where to go when things happen.
That's true.
We have some things that happen to our people, but they don't know where to go. You know, not every case that is taken direct to the police. The police would want you to go step by step until you reach it.
Yes.
So it's allied as the community. We welcome people. People come and we do referrals to where they are supposed to go according to what is going on, according to the situation the person has got in. And beside that, a community paralegal.
Okay.
Yeah, hello, my fellows. I'm a community paralegal. Very happy to work with my colleagues, and we work mostly on the law parts.
Okay.
We help widows to know their rights on land, to know their rights on land, the children's rights, their rights towards their parents, the parents' rights towards the children. Yeah, we travel, we do outreaches to schools.
Okay.
We've so far this year we've traveled like 11 schools in Entebbe. If we haven't reached yours, then we are coming. Yeah, so we go into communities. We do those civil cases. We counsel. For example, I'm a counselor. I counsel, and we have other members that they mediate in the middle of people.
Yes.
We do all sorts on the ground level in order to be referred to the office that you have to go in.
Wow.
Yeah, so at first, we first calm you down.
Yes.
And we tell you what you have to do when you reach there. So that you don't reach there and they tell you things, because these people, sometimes those levels assume that community people know.
Yes.
So for us, we have an obligation to tell people what they are supposed to do when they reach there, or what the first steps, or the basics, as the show goes. Back to basics. Indeed, that's something noble, helping people and giving them knowledge, helping them know their rights. I think that's one of the things that actually affect us Ugandans. And you find we don't know our rights, and people are harassed, and people lose property. Yes, they do.
People lose property, people lose love, the love relationships, because they don't know what they are supposed to do or where they are supposed to go. So that's very noble of you and your colleagues and the organization you work for. And that's why we invite such people to also Bethan TV, because this back to basics, that's what we do. We try to bridge that gap and provide knowledge through experts like you, through people who do community work, such that people know where to go. And I'm very sure for someone who's listening or viewing, in case you need something in that line, then Mariam is here. You can reach through me, through Back to Basics, and or Bethan TV, or at the end of the show, we will ask Mariam if she can share her contacts, such that you can actually reach and get help. But thank you very much for coming.
I thank you too.
You mentioned something about schools, visiting schools, and I said that is now the youth. That is kind of the youth. People are growing up. And just to give a little bit of background to our topic of discussion this evening, sometimes in those ages, as we grow from the young ages and the semi-independent, when your father or your parents start to let you kind of make your own decisions, there's a lot of choices that people make.
Yes.
And these choices sometimes can affect either positively
or negatively
in future. And that's why this evening, ladies and gentlemen, with Mariam in the house, we want to focus and look at the choices people make, especially in the early adulthood.
Yes.
If we believe if you get things right, that's back to basics. The principles right when growing up, then things in future, even in your later stages in adulthood and retirement, things turn out to be okay.
Of course.
But it's not always the case.
It's not.
There's a lot that affect us. And that's why we're here. And the topic of discussion this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is adulthood choices. And with Mariam in the house, we want to delve into what affects our choices when we are growing up. Mariam, start with.
Yeah.
When we talk of adulthood, our viewers, what do we actually mean? Especially the young adulthood, because that's our reference group for this discussion this evening.
Okay, thank you, Moses. When we talk about your adulthood, I'm talking about 22, from age 22 to 34.
34.
Yeah.
So that's basically if we are to compare with the Ugandan education, where
University?
where is the person now? Okay,
University?
someone who has studied well. Of course, someone would say, me, I joined, I joined primary when I was old or something. But let's use a normal child.
A normal child.
A normal child.
By
I won't
22.
say a normal unplanned child. No, a normal child.
Normal child. Okay, by
So
22,
by 22, where are we?
Like
Yes.
HSC.
HSC.
Yeah, you're finishing. You're finishing.
You've used the traditional term of HSC. I start thinking,
Okay,
how old are you? Because I've taken time, but it's there.
Like that's
HSC, you know?
I'm old.
And I'm very sure some people may not understand HSC.
Okay.
Like the young age.
Okay, the senior six.
The senior
Is that
six.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, senior six.
He's laughing about the
Yeah.
HSC. When our producer is laughing at HSC, but it's okay. That is senior six. I think senior six or first year.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, or first year, yeah. First year or second year there.
First year, second year. Yeah, depending. But that's the...
Because
yes.
everyone has their own phases in life. So,
That's the age. So basically we see that that's the age where most youth, they have left their homes. That's when you get a chance. You remember your campus or university life. That's when you get a chance to basically, your father like sends you. You remember when we were reporting at the university, we were taken to hostel, and a parent came with a daughter, and then reporting the hostel for accommodation, and this hostel was mixed. So the father looked and then was seeing a guy in a towel coming from the washroom. So the father was like, there are guys here. So the custodian was like, yeah, this is mixed. This the girls' wing and then the boys' wing. But in case these are shared washrooms, but they are for the ladies and the gents. But the parent was like, wow. Like
it was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. So that's the age where we see most youth leaving their homes and try to start being independent. The journey to their being independent, away from their parents and everything.
Yeah.
And we brought in the topic of the choices we make in those ages and at that stage. So what are some of the generally, where do we see these choices coming from? What characterizes some of these choices in that age?
First of all, decision making. As we say, that's decision making. These people, they find themselves being in a situation where they have to do things that other people see, and they see the picture in them. If you say characteristics, I could say these are people who are already energetic. They believe that they have all time because they are young, they're in the middle of young and adulthood. So I'm talking about people who think they have much time in life. They think they still have a lot to do in life. So these people even think that death is far from them. These people do things when they believe that the world is there to watch them. They do things according to what other people think. They decide because of what other people think about them. These people have a lot of opportunities in front of them, but sometimes they misuse them because of what they have in their minds and what they are doing in actual sense. Let me say what they're engaged in. These people are engaged in a lot of groups that sometimes when you don't guide them well, they can even lead to wrongdoers. Yeah.
So that's the behavior of such people in that bracket. You said, if we are to repeat, they are young. That's the truth.
Yeah, they are young.
They are young. And you said they think they have a lot of time. I think that's very important.
Yeah, they
I
think
was thinking that they have a lot of time. But for you, you're saying they think
they have a
lot
lot of time.
And then they're energetic.
Yeah, they are energetic. They are, remember, they are in age of young and adults. So they think they are young. They think
But
they are
they are
getting
young.
there. They are, but
They think they are young.
I'm using think because
Yes.
we all grow in different phases.
In different phases.
Yeah, because you can find a child of 22 thinking like a 30-year-old. You can find a person of 30 years thinking like a person of 23 years old. So most of them, I'm talking about of different phases. I'm using think because I'm having all those who think, who are there, who are doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah, and that.
Okay, that's very interesting. But I also think, as you're saying, they think, when you look at 22, I think in this world, the way where the world is, speed that the world is growing and everything, I think that's also not. If someone is thinking that he is or she's young at that age, I think that's a wrong kind of mindset. Still, things can be done as early.
Yeah, they can.
I have seen, I've witnessed young students who have done programming at 7 years, and someone has done basic computer programming. People have studied, done some professional certificates as young as 19 in secondary, and they have ambitions and they have missions. So the phrase "they think they're young," I think, comes in handy when you mention it.
Yeah, of course.
So looking at those characteristics, yes, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, some of them, that's why I'm saying this, because some of them think that time is still waiting for them.
Which is not the case.
Time can't pause for you, sweetheart. It can't pause for you. Time moves. It has been moving all the way from Jesus' time until today. The clock has never stopped. So it's high time that you touch into yourself. You sit down alone and you think what you're doing. Is it taking you from 5 years to come? Is it taking you where you're going? Usually there is a wise man who always says that you can't become what you're not becoming. Are you becoming what you're not becoming, or you're becoming what you're becoming? Yeah, so you have to sit down.
It's a very wise saying.
Yeah, it was. Yes. Yeah, so you have to sit down and think through of what you're doing right now. Okay. However much you think you're young, the world sees you as an adult. Because you're adults. That's what you said. They are adults. Yes, but some think that they are still young. They think that maybe I'm supposed even to marry at 40. If she's a girl, I'm supposed to get married at 30. Even if I do anything in the middle here. Some things we do carry on up to when we think we are older. Yeah. Things that they move with us. They are I believe some of us tell you that you can do any mistake as you can in this age. But I'm here to tell you that some mistakes you do in this age will be carried to the age that you think you're older. Let me say, like a child. You've done it, let me say, as per now, you've done it, you've produced a child. Yes. That child is going to stick with you until your marriage, or you think you're rightly aged. Such decisions. Sometimes you abort, your womb can be affected. Isn't it carried to your marriage? It is carried to your marriage that you can't, there is a fact that you can't produce because you've done some mistake in your 20s, thinking that you can do any mistake as you can in those 20s, and you think people are going to forget about it. But no. When they forget, there is a husband the other side waiting to ask you where are the child, and you don't know the answer because the wound was ruptured or something like that. Yeah, so you have to take keen of what you're doing during this age, because it can very well affect you positively or negatively. Yeah, so it depends on what you have in your mind.
Well, we will go for a break, but before going for a break, I just want to introduce the understanding, like us understanding exactly what influences those choices, what kind of I can't say support, but what determines the choices that the young adults make in their lives, especially between those ages. And you have mentioned something like decision making. And there's a whole lot of decisions that are being made.
Yes.
And those decisions, like you're saying, may be short term, but others have an impact
Long term.
in the long term as someone grows and everything. And when we come from the break, I just want us to pick from there and examine what impacts or what determines or what influences the choices that these young adults make in their lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are still discussing about young adulthood choices. Very, very fundamental, because we all know that the decision you make now can affect you tomorrow, and your tomorrow can be in your adulthood. Therefore, understanding this, parents where you are, guardians, even the young adults themselves, this can be a life-changing topic for you to listen. For now, let's have a very short break, and we'll come back and continue with Mariam Nabukera. Okay, welcome back from that short break. In the studio, I'm still with Mariam Nabukera. Like I had said, Mariam Nabukera is a community psychologist, and together we are discussing the choices that we make as young adults. Yes, we are giving reference to young adults, but we are saying as a parent, as a guardian, as a teacher, as a stakeholder, as a caretaker, someone that has access to these young adults, or you, the young adult, this topic is very fundamental, and it's very important that you keep engaged and tuned into Bethan TV for health. We are discussing the choices that are made in that age. And Mariam had given us a fair description or characteristics of people in that age. And I think that cuts across.
It does.
But then the question is, what determines or what influences the choices that the young adults make in that stage?
We can, when we say things that influence,
Yes.
It means that we are touching the mind.
Yes.
And that brings us to mindset. A mindset, it is a set of beliefs that you believe that people are going to value you in, or a person is going to see you. The things that we decide, or we believe that we believe that people are going to see us in, or the values that they are going to see us in. In that, we have like two types of mindsets. For instance, we have people that think, there is what we call growth mindset. These are people who think that working hard and talent is not just the end of the game. They believe that working hard and dedication, it confirms your accomplishment.
Okay.
So we also have these people who think fixed. They think fixed. They think when they don't know something, it is that is it. That they can't work hard towards it like the growth mindset people. We have people who think thick, that they think that when they don't know soccer, that is it. When they can't write, that is it. They can't do anything to improve on that. We have people who think that when they don't know something, they can't go to learn in an institute to learn something. They think that when they don't know, then they don't know. Yet we see that our mindset, sometimes we see there is this book called Think and Grow Rich. We are saying, Barnes is saying that I'm going to do business with Mr. Edison. But he did not say that I will go and look for and keep my eyes open for other opportunities. He decides and says that in his mindset that I'm going to do business with him. He burns all bridges behind him and puts his future on stake and says that this is it. Your mindset, he fixes his mind onto something in a positive way. And he says that I'm going to do this with this one. And even if anything comes in the middle there, he doesn't look onto it. Let me say negative thing. Let me say as a person, you're doing a business. And a business, in one way or the other, you start it. As things goes on, losses come in. And we all know that losses are so obvious in business. When things come in the middle there, remember, I'm talking about now a growth person. A growth person, a person who grows in a growth mindset. This person, when business comes in, some risks come in. Let me say some losses. When losses come in the business, they believe that at the end of the year, because of my plan, it is going to be fixed. The losses, all I need to do is to get, let me say, more managers or more employees. If I need to train more about my managers, my employees, because we believe that when you train them more skills are earned and you get more products. So this is the mindset of a person who has a business, but believes that anything can happen in the middle there. But I have a positive mind forward. If I engage into something in the middle here, if I fix in just slightly something, things can get better and these losses can turn into profits. But a fixed mind person, he has done a business, but when losses come in, that is it. Then I'm doomed. In fact, let me sell the company. If possible, please, do you have a neighbor there do you have someone rich who can buy a company? Because mine is over. So we see that this type of people, they think that the growth think that they can do, just talent is not enough. To do, it's just a starting point. It's not because as we say that we have Messi and Ronaldo in soccer. Some people believe that Messi is talented and they believe that Ronaldo works hard. So we believe that some people who are talented, or they think they know something. Sorry if I use think. Okay, they know something.
No, that's okay.
They know something. You believe that you know something. It is obvious. Even if you don't practice, you can do it. Sometimes you can face the unknown. And you look like someone who is not talented at all. If you believe that you can do something minus hard work. And then a hardworking person, this person knows that they are not talented. They are not talented, and in so knowing, they have to dedicate in all that they have. They have to work hard in order to accomplish what they have to accomplish. So a mindset is very important in this phase of life. You have to mindset yourself in a positive way, in a way that you have to be mind opened. You have to be open and willing to receive anything at any time.
That's true.
So that you can gauge it together and you pursue what you want to pursue. And again, after that, we are having some more other influencing things.
But before we move to them, definitely you've brought in the mindset. I think that's very, very interesting because it's I don't know, but it's something that is that cuts across. Like everyone has a mindset, and like you said, you explained two categories: the growth and the fixed. Now we are looking at this group of the young adults growing up, and they see there's a whole lot of opportunities. Some of them may not even have experienced any life challenges apart from the books and reading, and maybe like life is good. So how do we see this mindset affecting or impacting on their decisions?
We have a mindset of people already studying something, and some are so flexible enough that they can engage into other things if what they have studied has refused to earn what they expected. And we also have other groups that they study something and right now they are jobless. They think that they can't get engaged into any other thing. They believe if it's an engineer, I have to be engineering. I have to be an engineer somewhere. And I'm worthy anything. I'm worthy some amount. There is an amount that they fix in their head. And they say, if
This
it is
what
below
I
that,
must do.
earn. So if they go to a certain company and a company says a lower amount than what they said,
Yes.
in their mind, then they don't have a job. They believe that at least they stay home minus doing anything than doing something that they believe it is degrading what they have in mind. So these people, those people who think that even if I'm a doctor, you know, lockdown came. Lockdown came and a lot of people were displaced.
Yes.
Yeah, so you were a doctor, but okay, let me say doctors, of course, they were having some jobs. Let me say you were...
It can happen to any profession, by the way.
Anyway, let me go with doctor.
Projects close, companies close,
yeah, close.
And you find a profession is actually out of job.
Yeah, it's out of job.
And they can't get in that right profession.
You can't get
happen.
anything.
It can
you can't get anything.
Different years.
But these people, we saw these people that were flexible. They had a growth mind. They were flexible enough to say that now my family is looking at me. I'm a doctor. I used to earn well, but as for now, I'm out of job. I have to go out there and seek for something that will get me something so that I give to my family something to eat. Yeah, so, but there are those people who remained the same. I'm a doctor, and if not in a clinic or a hospital, if not in that direction, I'm not.
There's no deal.
Yeah, they don't deal. Some of them right now, they're in the village. They're in the village.
Yeah.
You don't know any? For me, I know. I know many. My neighbors, some of them, they were lecturers. They were, let me say, they were pediatricians. Right now, they are not there.
They are not there.
They are not there. They are in the village.
Do you think they would accept? So you should advise them to keep watching Back to Basics, because discussions like this, sometimes you need a little bit of that push and tickle and challenge for someone to inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you into knowing, hey, this is what I must do. So encourage them to tune into Back to Basics. It's now on Star Times, and live on even www.deathantv.ug. To get that message, but also when you're there now, they are your neighbors and you know this stuff.
I told you that they are in the village now. They had a fixed mind.
Yes,
they are now in the village.
They are now in the village. All right. So mindset. Do you have any other aspects that maybe influences these young adults in making choices?
Let me bring in something about decision making. A percentage of people in the world, women or men, they have experienced failure in their lives, but they are claiming that the 31 choice, the 31 of the list, the points of the list of their failure is decision making, what they decided. So we are saying that if at all we have a lot to do in life, decision making is a very big point. It's a very big step that you have to take. It's a very big point. It's a very big step that you have to consider before doing anything. And obviously, you can't do anything minus deciding. We are saying there is this story of Ford, Mr. Ford. You know him?
Yes.
Mr. Ford.
I have heard of him.
Yeah, Mr. Ford, when he was manufacturing his Model T, ugliest car, you know, that car, many of his manufacturers and the the purchasers of cars told him to stop. But he made a decision that even if I fail 100 times, I have to pursue this. I have to reach the goal where I'm going, and that was to make a car, to pack it together, to assemble it together to the world. Right now is one of the most, let me say, richest person in the world because of the decision he made. But you picture something that what if they told him don't, and he said okay, and he resurrects away from his decision, what could have happened? Will he be one of the ranked top 5 richest people in the world? One of the cars that we have here, we have the ugliest cars. Those are the expensive cars. Have you taken a look that the most expensive cars are the cars that are good? They are so ugly.
In terms of shape?
Yeah, the shape. They call them ugly because they are they don't care. You know, an ugly person when they have money. You can call him what you want.
What you want.
For them, they have money. So we call it the Model T, ugliest car. But because of it wouldn't have existed if he didn't make a decision. It is the decision that he took that is heading him or is taking him where he goes or where we have known him as for now. If not that.
So do you think the youth in the young adulthood, especially in Uganda, are they empowered to stand by their decisions?
Yes, they are. They are. Just that they have to make sure that that decision, one of the questions you have to ask yourself when you're deciding something, I'm in this situation, or I'm deciding this. Where am I? Where is it taking me 5 years from now? Will I remain me, or I'm going to turn into something I'm not? Turning into something you're not, it's fine when you're turning from bad to good. But there is a decision you can take that may result into different negative things that will ruin your future. You can have a bright future, and just because of a decision you're taking now or today can ruin it. And it can ruin it step by step, slowly, without you knowing, because it takes time. You can quickly say it, but your life to change, it takes time. So if you're not very careful of the decisions you make right now, it can turn out into a negative impact into your life. It can even affect your future family, your future husband or your future wife. So it's today, it's now, in your ages, that lousy age, the age of finding. It is okay to find, it is okay to discover, but be mindful of what you're discovering. Be mindful.
So touching in our society currently, with reference to Uganda, that is a beautiful country, and the people and the cultures and the young adults that we have, what are some of those decisions? I know there are quite a number, but what are those specific decisions that we may reference, we may pick on to kind of clarify on what we are talking about?
I have decisions of, let me say you're 22. I'm going to bend a bit to girls' side because they are the most vulnerable. You agree with me?
No, boys are vulnerable too.
They are.
I think every young adult in their sex, they may be vulnerable because I mean they are all human beings.
Let me bring an example which cuts across.
Let's continue with the
Let me
girls.
bring an example that cuts across. Yeah. Let me say, right now, they are pressuring you. You have your fellows, they have given birth. But remember, you have some goals to achieve. When you give birth, it means 1 year down the road, it is cut just to take care of the baby. In fact, those are 2 years. Take care of the baby and sort. And then if you're a boy, because they say they are variable too, I know they are. Yeah, you've impregnated a girl in that coincidence. You've impregnated a girl, and parents are saying, I want you to marry my daughter. you're entering into responsibility that you're not prepared for. It means that your minds are going to go off what you planned for yourself in the future.
Yeah.
It is going to resort to the baby and the baby mama. So you see how decisions damage us?
Yeah.
You were a girl, you're now, in fact, you've given birth now because it was a decision that you went and engaged with the boy and you had other alternatives to say, let me say no to sex or to do other stuff apart from abortion. To do other stuffs in order to prevent yourself from getting pregnant. But you decided not to do it. And you made a decision because of the love I have right now. Let me get pregnant. But you're forgetting that the decisions you're making now, you see them as temporary, but the repercussions are permanent. As a boy, you're making it, you're seeing it as if having sex is temporary, is a temporary decision. Because it's not that every day you're going to make it. But as that particular time, it is just a temporary decision. But having a baby, it is a permanent decision that you're going to carry for the rest of your life.
Where do you see, for example, what makes our youth or young adults powerless sometimes in making decisions?
As a girl, I can say that sometimes we put ourselves into situations that we are not even ready for. Let me say you've accepted gifts for a man that you don't love.
You're compromising yourself.
You're compromising yourself. You're compromising your values. You've received them, and then we have a very weak heart that at the end of the day, you're going to feel like you're indebted. You're indebted
You
to
must
give
pay back. Yeah.
Yet sometimes these people have not even yet asked us. However, some that's the way. But you feel like I can't
this is too
prepare.
much.
This is too much.
This is too much.
Here's
iPhone Pro. What's the latest?
I think they're on 15.
I thought you have an iPhone. Ladies know those things properly.
No.
So iPhone, expensive perfumes
let me say that
imported from Turkey or Thailand.
You have a bag, a fancy bag.
Yes,
you know, they don't even ask things that are so vulnerable.
A design of bags and those
Let
names.
me say, you have a Versace original bag from
original
Dubai.
bag
You're taking the trips from US.
And then you are like, no.
I have to pay this person.
I have to pay this person.
Yeah. And then you decide, okay.
But do we have men who are just doing that also without kind of expecting anything?
I don't think so.
So the bottom line is be very cautious of
yeah.
of
ladies,
gifts.
yeah, you have
to. Yes, I see we going to. You had other aspects, but I'm seeing our time is actually well spent. And I wouldn't want to leave when we've looked at what can we do. That's why I was mostly bringing the empowerment and giving that power to the young adults make a decision, because I believe, like you've rightly put, all these other things will depend on the decisions that one make in order to make the right choice. Now, in your opinion and in your profession as a counselor, as we summarize, as we try to wind up, how can we support people who are in the lives of these young adults, the parents? For example, let me just rely on the parents. How can they support their young adults in making the right decisions and choices?
Okay, thank you.
Just briefly as we
as a parent,
conclude. Yes.
As a parent, you very well know that these adults or these young, because in the eyes of a parent, these are young people. Just try so much to be part of every engagement they are in. Try to ask them what they are trying to accomplish. Try to know what steps they are taking in life. Try to guide them, not just to be negative, onto anything that they are doing. Just try to walk with them. When you walk with someone, when you walk with someone, it means you're going to reach far with them.
Yes.
So where they will make a mistake somewhere, you'll be there to guide them that do this, do that. Because we know a fool learns from their mistake, but a wise person learns from mistakes of others. So you can make that child a wise person. By learning all the mistakes you made, so that you put them right.
You put them right.
To do the right decision.
Well said, Mariam. Very, very important. You've mentioned something very important, and I think this can be our take, because you can't do that when you're not in the lives of those children. As parents, as guardians, let us be the lives of the young adults in order to help them learn from our mistakes that we've made and help them to make.
We've also made a lot of mistakes,
especially those that didn't have people to
guide them. But now you're there. You can be that person.
You can be that person.
Collect what went wrong in your life.
So thank you very much. Also, staying tuned to programs from Bethan TV for Health. Very, very educative and good programs that can help you, that can support you, your family, your community, into kind of getting that knowledge, and knowledge is power. From me, Moses, the host of Back to Basics, and Mariam Naukera, we must sign out now, but again, wishing you
a Merry Christmas
and a very, very happy
New
New Year from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and be blessed.